Now, some people's goals are to get stronger, and one of these things they look to get stronger on often is a squat. They want to get a bigger and better squat. So a lot of people often cop out of squats, me included, and say that, oh, I can't squat very well because of the way I'm built. So one of the things I say is that I have long femurs relative to my height. This puts my center of gravity further back when I squat down, which means I have to lean further forwards in my torso and my hips, which puts more overall workload on my lower back, my upper back, and my glutes, which would mean then it's going to be it's going to be more compromised in terms of perfect form, because if you want to get a good squat, you probably want to be as close to vertical as possible, but leaning forward obviously is going to make that a lot harder, and if you've got to lean forward because of that, then that could be a reason. But that's what I say. But what does the research show is the number one reason to predict how well you're going to be able to squat. And what they found is it's the amount of muscle you carry relative to your overall height. Yeah. So basically, if you are, have more muscle relative to your height, so you've got more muscle on you relative to how tall you are. So someone therefore who's really short with loads of muscle, great squatter. Someone who's really, really, really tall and not very muscular is not going to squat so well. And you only have to look at powerlifting competitions to understand this is the truth. You know, if you look at a lot of Olympic powerlifters and so on, not always in the squat but in other elements, you can see they're all very short relatively, but stocky. You know, there's a lot of muscle packed onto that height. So if you're lanky, then you're probably not going to make a good squatter. And realistically, I'm probably a little bit ectomorphic in general. So that again is another reason that I can now use to say why I can't squat so well. But it's a bad excuse. If I really wanted to, and that's the thing, I don't really want to. If I wanted to improve my squat, I can work on it and it will get better. But it's interesting because as a good predictor of how well you'll eventually squat with all of the right work, then how much muscle you carry versus your height is a good predictor, is the number one predictor, of course. So it's interesting because we all come up with these little, because of this, because of that, because of the other, but this research showed what the number one was. Now the other one's still irrelevant, but that was the most important one. So anyway, that's it for this video, and I'll see you next time.